Yensid organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. I hope you guys are having a great day today. The last episode, we built up a wither skeleton farm, and I spent some time on live stream this week spawn-proofing the area, and I'm up to, I think, 8 beacons that I have gotten from that, so that is absolutely awesome. But today we are back here working on the base, and we are going to move to this new section up here. This is going to be the Industrial Revolution part of the base as we kind of work our way. We're actually getting pretty close to being done. I've been kind of plotting out how the rest of this is gonna go, and we're really getting close to finishing with that. I think this is gonna be a decent size area, and we're gonna be working more with villagers. I want to get some like armor smith and weaponsmith, and what's the other one? Toolsmith in there, and probably a couple other just some random villagers that we're gonna need just to have on hand in case I ever want them. Yeah. But part of what I'm going to need for this project is a lot of brick, so I'm going to go ahead and trade as much as we can with this, and we're going to be making some brick blocks. This is going to kind of be the basis for what we're doing. I actually have plenty of brick, but it doesn't hurt to get more. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be working on. There is one thing that I want to do first, though, and it is something that has been bugging me for a little while, and it is this wall. Back when we did this room long time ago, this is our little mini cow farm here. It's been a while since I fed the cow, so we'll go ahead and do that. This is our little cow farm here, and then down below the deck of the... Whoops! No, that goes in there. There we go. And then down below the deck here, we have our little nano crop farm where we can get wheat and potatoes and carrots. Yeah, and so, you know, it's this little ship that we have here. And then this is our Egypt room. I've been using this as a temporary cocoa bean farm, which I probably should find a more permanent home for somewhere in this base, because that's useful to have. But when we first did this, I did this cyan concrete wall, and I liked how it looked. We have that, we have the light blue sky, but the more that I've been working on this base, I really like the black walls, and I like the darker blue ceiling. We've got that in here, we've got it in our potion brewing room, and you know, we've also got a little bit here for our super smelter. We kind of moved away from that as we moved into our villager trading hall. But I really like the black and the dark blue, and so I think what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and replace these walls with black, and we are going to take this ceiling and replace it with just regular old blue concrete. So let me get that done. Yes, this room looks much better with the black wall, the dark blue ceiling. I keep calling it dark blue. It's just blue, but it is a much darker blue than it was. Yeah, I think this looks a lot better. I went ahead and raised the ceiling up so that it's flat in here as well. I think that helps things out. And then if we come at it from this way, we come in and we get that nice contrast with the wall, and I really like the contrast of the green and the brown against the black. It makes it pop out a lot more. Yeah, and I think this looks much better. So now we do need to tackle the issue of lighting in this room, and this is one that has been plaguing me since I built this. So what I want to do, I grabbed a couple of concrete powders and some red sand, and I want to try to mix a little of these in, and I also have orange, and I want to see how it looks if we mix a little bit of color in here, and I'm not sure which ones are going to work, so I brought several different ones. I can already tell I don't like the brown, but there's the gray, And there's the yellow. So how, let's see, if we jump up here and take a look down at this, how do these look? The orange is okay. The brown is okay. No. Didn't like the brown. The gray is okay. I don't like the yellow. The yellow is too bright, so that's a no-go. But yeah, let me take this brown out, and then how do we go if we go orange versus red sand? Yeah, you know what? That is okay. So let's pull this out, and let's maybe do, like, another gray here, and, oh, I can't put that there, because it's concrete powder and it'll turn. But that maybe looks okay. Maybe if we come back in here and tuck an orange. How does that look? I'm not completely sold on it. I mean, it's not bad. So, I'm guessing you probably have guessed where I'm going with this, which is if we can add a little bit of color into the sand, we can put carpet, and then we could put glowstone or sea lanterns underneath. So, if we grab a little bit of orange carpet, and then I'll just grab some glowstone because it's here. So let's see how this looks. Unfortunately, we have a decent area that needs to get covered, but if we were to take like this, and we would stick some glowstone down there. Glowstone covered by the carpet? No. Okay. And of course I only grabbed orange, so maybe the gray. Let's go try that. So if we were to put the gray there, I mean, it's okay. I don't know. Let's see, and I guess I could put one here. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this. Obviously, we would need to work we would either need to work a little more of that in or just replace it with gray. You know what? Maybe just the gray is okay. Because it's definitely, the gray is definitely a muted color. And then we could stick another one in the corner here. This is maybe okay. And I guess, how's our light level over here? 10, 11, 10, 11, 12. Actually, I think we're okay as far as ground level goes. But, yeah, I don't know. I really wish we had a good way to light or mob-proof something in the desert. And we could do slabs, but we only have sandstone slabs. Yeah, I don't know. The gray is growing on me the more I look at it, but I don't know how that's going to translate to spawn-proofing the pyramid. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to leave this off for now, and I'm going to listen for your comments as to what you think. If you like the lighting like this, or if you don't like the gray and you think we should try for something else, and if you have any other ideas on how we can spawn-proof this, I would love to hear those down in the comments. So I think we're going to leave this project for now, and let's head upstairs to start working on the next area of our base. Welcome back, everyone. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to figure out the space that we want to use for this next section. Now, I've been thinking a little bit more. I've had a night to sleep on this. I also did some AFKing at the gold farm, if you notice that my levels are considerably higher than the last clip. And so I'm thinking, I thought of a couple more things that I want to include in this area. They're not going to be things that are like overly efficient, but I want to have a stone/cobblestone generator, and I think I also want to have a little bit of a tree farm. Like if we were in a pinch and needed to get some wood, we would have the ability to do so in the base. So I want to start in this area over here. And this is where I want the villagers to go. So we're going to have a weaponsmith, a toolsmith, and an armorsmith. And I'm thinking I'm maybe going to go 2 of each, and then probably also going to throw in a leather worker and a shepherd just for good measure. And that way we have most of the types of villagers, and probably won't have great need for them, but at least we'll have them. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this space. Obviously, this is where we come in, and we're fairly close to the central column here, so I do want to use this space. I'm not quite sure what to do with this dead space here, and this rail is not really an issue, so let me just clean this up. I'm going to leave the entrance here, because this is where we're going to bring them in, but that will give us a little bit of space to work. So I think that maybe what I want to do is I think I might actually have this area just be some dead space, because I'm not really sure how to fill all that in. I guess the other possibility is we could make another wall. Obviously, we would have to make a wall to cover this up, because we're going to be in a different style here. Or maybe we could come straight back from here. Actually, that might be okay. That might be okay. And then we don't lose too much space, and maybe we could have, I don't know, some kind of other storage thing, something in there. I mean, we do have a lot of empty space in here. So, yeah, I'll just have to think about it. So, before we get into this, let's take a look at the palette that I'm working with. So I said Industrial Revolution, so I want to use brick and iron as my primary blocks. Then to add a little bit of that, I think the granite works really well with the brick, and I've seen a lot of other people use that. So I think we can do that. And then I also thought it might be nice to include a little bit of nether brick. You could almost have it like, maybe up near the ceiling, like, you have, soot and something, from a furnace or something, so it's maybe darkened the brick a little bit. And then I thought maybe we could also use some stone brick in there, just to give something that has a little bit of a different color, maybe use this as a bit of a foundation. Yeah. And then I also want to, I want to continue the trend of having windows here. We're not going to be this fancy, obviously, but I like that for having some lighting, and just bringing a little bit of life to it. So I got some gray and some black stained glass, which we don't need right at this moment, so I'm going to pop those in here. But we're going to do a little bit more of that in there. So let's do this. Let's start, and I guess we would maybe want to go here, because of what we've got. So let's take that, and let's see if we were to just bring a wall out this way. All right, and that brings us to right there. So how much space do we lose? We don't lose a ton. I don't think I can get up there. There we go. And now I won't be able to get back through. Yeah, maybe we could just save this, for something else. I know that I'm gonna need some more bulk storage at some point. So, yeah, so we might use it for that. Now, the other thing that I'm curious about is how much room do I have under this floor? Not a ton. So I'm not quite sure if this is the level we want to build at, or if we want to bring it up, we could probably get away with taking this. Oh yeah, we have more room in there than I thought. So we could make this the level of this next room. Obviously, we would need to go uphill to get into it. Oh, but that might mess with the... Well, you know what we could do is we could bring this out, and, you know, we could have like a wall here that we start from, and then as you get in here, it will open back up into this. That might be okay. And actually, if we're gonna do that, we could push this back a block. Yeah, this might be okay. And then rather than this being brick, let's make this iron blocks. And then we'll go to the brick. And obviously we would take this all the way up, and then, you know, however tall our ceiling is going to be, whatever that's going to end up ultimately being. And I haven't quite gotten that far yet. We might just do I fell through a hole. And now I'm stuck. Yeah, we might just do like a black or a blued off ceiling like we did in the others. I don't know, maybe that lacks imagination. So, but then we can bring this along, and we can have this be the floor level of this section. And then maybe what we can do is we can bring it to here, and this is actually a nice little diagonal. So maybe what we can do is we can bring it there, and then we'll bring our brick along through here. And this is the area that we're going to work with for the villagers. Yeah, I think that might be okay. And then we'll just have to figure out exactly what I want to do with the design in this area. All right, so let me get to work on building up an area here, and then I will bring you guys back when that is done. Welcome back, everyone. Here is what I have so far. So it's only going to be one level, but I like the idea of having a little bit of a taller room and then having this catwalk up here made out of the iron trapdoors. I really like how that has turned out. And yeah, so we got the iron blocks with a little bit of iron bars here just for an accent. And yeah, I think this is really coming along. We got this little wall over here that's going to portion off this section of it. Couple of windows. Not completely content with the sea lanterns behind there. I might change that out for glowstone. Might have a little bit better. Now, I'm not completely done with this because this looks entirely too modern, and I definitely wanted to make it look a little bit older. So we're gonna do a little bit with texture in a little bit. But I wanted to tackle a couple things first. And the first is the individual workstations. So what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and do a couple of blast furnaces there. And then we're going to do a couple of smithing tables there. And those are the ones for sure that we're going to do double. And then what I want to do is I want to put trapdoors on the sides of them to almost make them like workbenches. And we can maybe put them on top as well. I don't think that will block the villagers' ability to work with them. So let's do that over here as well. I don't know if I can sneak that. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll put that. Whoops. Not that. There we go. Put that there, and then put a couple on top. Nope, not from that level. We're not. That'll go there. And I don't think that's going to place right. Oh, it did. How about that? All right. And then we've got a couple more that we need. So I want to have 2 grindstones. And I think, let's see, we might just put those coming out of the wall there. Yeah, and then let's go ahead and do the fletching table. Let's put that, I guess we'll have to put it here if we want to use the trapdoors around it. Whoops. Well, yeah, I guess we do need one on top, and I don't have enough And I'm also out of wood. Let's deal with the sides first. I don't know, does the fletching table? No, it doesn't have any interaction yet. Okay. Yeah, all right. I think that is going to be good. Now, you'll notice I don't have a floor in here, and I want to play around with a couple of different things for different floor designs in here. So a couple of things that work really, really well are these blast furnaces, but also these smithing tables. And if we look at those, they give a really nice texture of kind of like a, like a factory floor or a workroom floor. And yeah, I like both of those. I wonder if let's just take a look at a bigger block of that. I only have a few of them here, so there's that. Tell you what, let's break. Is that not what you used to break these? Apparently not. All right, Tail, you learned something new. All right, so there's that, and then if we do the blast furnaces as a block here. Oh, and that's interesting. The top of that is directional, which I guess makes sense because the block is directional. Is this directional? I don't think so. No, that one is not directional. Okay, but that one is. I kind of like this as a primary, but maybe what we could do is we could do that, but then in front of every workstation we could have a couple of the blast furnaces, so that it kind of looks like, like people have been standing in front of the workstations working a little bit more. So let's try that if I could actually get them placed down properly. We'll put that there, and then we would stick those there and there. Yeah, I like how that looks. All right, so now, the problem with using workstations as a floor is I'm a little bit concerned that if we bring our villagers in, they will try to take one of these workstations as their own instead of these that are up here at the level. So what we're going to need to do is we're actually going to need to wait to put this flooring in until we have the villagers. So I think, let's see. I'm going to do just a little bit more playing around with that, and then I'm going to go and procure the villagers we need. So we need 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh, and you know what? I forgot the cauldron. So I guess we'll put that over here probably. Yeah, I think we can just put that there. I think that'll be fine. That gives us a leather worker there. And I've had an idea on the ceiling. So, yeah. So let me do a little bit more work on this and go get those villagers, and I will bring you guys back when that is complete. Welcome back. I've got the villagers. I've got the floor in place. We've got some lighting underneath here. And yeah, I think this is looking good. I also went and started the ceiling. I have seen some other people use this, and these are cauldrons. And I really like the look of that. I think we might need to do something else with it. I don't know if maybe we need to put some light up there, or just break up the texture a little bit. And maybe as we progress a little bit farther into this area, we'll see how it looks. But that's what I've got for now. I still haven't done any of the detailing into the walls. But I've got all of the villagers here in place, and they are all synced up to their workstations, so we are doing good. So the next thing I want to work on here is I want to work on a stone and cobblestone generator, and I think that we are going to, I'm trying to figure out exactly the best place to put this. I think maybe let's put it here. We could put it like in this area over here. So let's just use this kind of as our temporary floor, and then we'll fill that in as we go. I think this will be okay. So what we are going to do, and actually if that's the floor, might make this a little bit higher, but that's all right. So let's do, I want to make sure that I have 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be our wall. 1. Let's see, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then our chests will go here. Is this going to be okay? Yeah, I think this will be all right. All right, so then what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and put some hoppers in there. Let's see. So I actually want this to come up, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can do this. So we're gonna go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, and we can use the back wall. I don't know if I actually do have some. Okay, good. All right, then I'm actually going to build this up with glass because I want something that won't break if I accidentally hit it. So let's go ahead and do... Whoops. I remember to shift when I do that. And I've gone back and forth as to what materials would be good here because I want to keep it with that industrial feel. Let's see. And then we actually need to bring this out. Oh... That's not gonna work. Alright, I think rather than making this 5 deep, I was gonna make it 5 deep because that's as far as the pickaxe will reach. And eventually I'm gonna get a beacon over here that will have haste so that we can insta-mine. You know what? Let's actually pull this over and out a few more blocks. Okay, so now we've got some room to work with here. So then we're going to go ahead and put our glass along here. And we're going to bring that out too. And then we'll go ahead and bring this up there. And then we're going to need an end there, which we might change. And we'll need an end there as well. And then we're going to put another layer along the top here. That will need to come up one more. There we go. And then over here we need to do a double layer. And let's go ahead and bring that out one more. Alright, and then we need to put a trapdoor in here so that nothing comes out, but we can actually still get in. Let me go ahead and open that real quick, and then we're going to put our water in here. And we're going to do there, and then we can do that, and we get sources all the way along. And then we'll pop out of here, and I need to get on top of that. Okay, and let's put another glass block there. And then I've got our lava sources, which are going to go there. And there, and then we're going to go ahead and put glass over the top of it so that I don't accidentally fall into it. And that's pretty much all there is to that, and then we can just come stand right here and mine out stone and cobblestone, just depending on which pick I have, and it'll get picked up in the hoppers. And will either pop to me or will end up down in the chest here. And it's not 100% guaranteed with the drop rates because some of it will bump up into the lava. But with the hoppers right underneath, you have the best chance. So, yeah. All right. So there is that. And we will, we're gonna dress this up a little bit so that it's not this thing here. But I just wanted to get that in. The next thing that I want to do is a little tree farm, and I think we're just going to go ahead and put that right next to it, probably up a couple layers here. And I was looking at height, because originally I was going to put it over here, but we're going to have an issue with ceiling as we start to get over there. But I have a little bit more, because I can play with most of the height up here, and really the only 4... or 2x2 tree that you have to have is a dark oak, and those don't actually grow that high. So we will be able to do every tree over here. So let me get some materials together, and I want to check a couple of designs, and then we will get that built. Well, guys, I have hit a little bit of a roadblock. So I've been looking at some different designs for a single tree farm to put in this area. And I have encountered a couple of problems. The smaller ones, where I can have like a leaf crusher, which is something that I think would be useful to have in here because it would return saplings a little bit faster. Though all the ones I've been able to find so far work for older versions and have thus broken with some changes. The ones that do work are ridiculously massive and are not going to fit into this area. So I've been trying to design something on my own, but I am not the greatest at redstone. So let me show you what I've been working on. So here's what I've got so far. So what I essentially have for a leaf crusher is a very simple double piston extender. And when we use the honey blocks and the slime box, they won't stick to each other. So what we have is if we place something in front of this observer, we get it extends and then it retracts. And it's pretty straightforward how all of this works. That's not a problem. And then we would want to duplicate it on the other side, and then possibly a third one in the front as well. Again, I'm a little tight on space. I'm having an issue though, in that if I put anything above this to limit the how high the tree will grow, so I think this is 4 blocks here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives me 5 blocks, which will keep the oak tree from being ridiculously large. The sapling will not grow. I can sit here and bone meal this all day, and it will not grow because there's a block up there. It will grow if I put dirt up there. At least it was earlier. Maybe not. See, it will grow, but it completely ignores the dirt block and grows into a tall oak tree, which then causes the machine to completely break. I've put a whole bunch of different blocks in there to try to get this to work, and I don't know why. I know you used to be able to limit the growth height of trees, but I do not know how to do that. And of course, redstone is not really my thing. And so, not that tree growth has to do with redstone, but this already has taken me a while to work out, plus the fact that we don't even have honey blocks yet. And so I'm really kind of stuck. In addition to being stuck on the design, I've hit a complete mental block. I've definitely been having... this week has been a little bit of a struggle, and so I'm sitting here going, I don't know how to finish this episode, and this is what I want to do next, and I'm not in a building or decorating mode at the moment. So I think rather than try to push through and tear my hair out, what little is left... rather than trying to force something, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the episode off here. I know it's probably a little bit shorter than usual, and I'm sorry that we weren't able to get all of this done, but, these things happen, and so I'm not going to stress myself out, and I'm just going to be able to put out an episode, and I think we got some good progress done in here with the villagers, and actually I still need to get the librarian to replace over here, so maybe I will work on doing that, but of course I gotta roll the right trade from that, so that'll be a little bit of a time process. So yeah, so I think that's where we're going to end off for this week. I think I'm going to spend the live stream this week continuing to work on this area, so working with the decoration here, getting the floor built up, and if I have any great epiphanies on the tree farm, I will work on that between episodes. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode today. If you did, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe and make sure you click that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. Be sure to follow me on social media, and I hope to see you on Wednesday nights at 9:30 Eastern for our live stream. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.